Yo, yo, Nate dog.
I've got nothing to tell you.
All right.
Hi.
How are you, Nathan?
I burned Hannah's rocking chair. The day moved forward. It was a good choice.
Thank you.
I'm not sure I've got much left of hers now. I've burnt most of it, or given it away, just to make the days move forward. There was a moment when I was attacking a Salvation Army bin, but I gave in.
What?
Gave in?
No, sorry.
Salvation Army bin?
I accidentally put Hannah's diary into a Salvation Army donation bin. They're like huge post boxes with a circular tray that makes sure things spill to the bottom. I tried to get in to get it back, but I gave up.
Diary?
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me. That she was going to break off the engagement.
Aww.
That she didn't love me anymore. I regretted it.
Interesting. Well, I'm trying to think about the...
So he's like going through all of her shit,
Yeah.
finds her diary, and he's like, I'm not gonna read this, but then just winds up reading it.
I'm curious. Well, I'll wait, because I'm trying to Dr. Dekker this thing. Maybe there is a connection between everyone.
Right.
Wouldn't it be weird if...
She was Iris.
That would be crazy. That's not where I was going to go, but that's way better than what I was going to say. I was going to say, what if she was the girl that Mariana kissed? And she became obsessed with her.
Oh.
But yours is way better. Yours is infinitely better. I forgot what we need to ask this guy.
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me. That she was going to break off the engagement. That she didn't love me anymore. I regretted it.
Try. You regretted it?
I regretted that I mourned for Hannah so long. I regret the grief. I regret all the days I slept through because of it. Had I known she didn't love me anymore, things would have been different. I'm a bit angry now. If I had that day over again, I may just still pull out in front of the driver.
Damn.
Interesting. What if you...
Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore? And thanks for the dating advice, by the way.
Oh. How did your date go? I know he didn't go on one, but...
No, I don't.
Dating advice?
I signed up for a dating website. It's a bit easy, to be honest. If I message something they don't like, I change it when the day replays. It's not very honest.
Uh-huh. Dating website? Why is it not very honest?
If I'm being honest, I'd probably rather ask out one of the patients I've seen here.
Yo-ho!
The friendly redhead with the accent.
God damn it. Well, I'm gonna have to stop seeing you. It's unfortunate. You're no longer welcome on the premises.
Type in paper
Jaya?
spike.
What?
Paper spike.
Jaya, take him off!
Jaya, no.
Get him out of here!
Jaya, no. We need to ask him shit.
I didn't notice Dr. Dekker had a paper spike. I haven't really seen more than a foot in front of me since Hannah died.
Diary is the only one.
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me. That she was going to break off the engagement.
Maybe it's why did you read it?
That she didn't love me anymore.
Yeah, try that.
Or why didn't she love you anymore? One of the two.
I regretted it.
Why did you read it? Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Why did she fall out of love with you?
You've asked me that already. No. Wait, maybe that was yesterday. I don't know, anyway.
How did you accidentally drop it?
A few weeks ago. It's still sinking in. I suppose living a lie is just the norm nowadays.
Okay.
Okay, so go to our notes. And
There's nothing about Nathan.
there is. He was with a female student all of Valentine's night.
Oh, yeah.
Try just typing in female student, because he said archaeologist before.
I've got nothing to tell.
Maybe since he mentioned Mariana.
No, I don't know about.
Accent?
I'm not trying to hide anything. I just don't.
Maybe we ask about the reports.
Yeah.
Temperature.
We know that he called him.
Hmm.
Why did Dr. Dekker call you?
I've told you all I know about Dr. Dekker. He started out good, then turned a bit crazy towards the end. When you start giving people more problems as a therapist, that's a bit crazy.
More problem?
I started out with depression. Now I seem to repeat days. Even if you don't believe the repeat days, then I clearly have extra mental health problems that he's given me.
You think he was crazy?
You've asked me that already.
Why do you think?
I think that he possibly cursed
my
other
God.
people.
There we
A bit
go.
like he cursed me. Sometimes you could see he was bursting to tell me about it, but he couldn't. He was ecstatic with power.
Ecstatic with power?
Oh my God. Ecstatic?
EC.
Thank you.
That doesn't mean.
Fuck.
Hold on.
I think that he
Bursting.
possibly cursed other people.
Cursed?
A bit like he cursed me. Sometimes you could see he was bursting to tell me about it, but he
Bursting.
couldn't. He was ecstatic with power.
Bursting to tell you?
Burting.
I'm not trying to hide it. I don't know anything about.
Cursed?
The curse. Well remembered. I was hoping you'd forget. It's gonna sound crazy. Dr. Dekker said I would never be able to move forward until I came to terms with my grief. And so from this point on, I start to relive the same day over and over again until I made something of it. I believed him.
Made something of it?
Like I said, it takes something like a tragic event to move my day forward. I do more and more bizarre things to try and get things moving. It's a curse, like I said. The curse. Well remembered. I was hoping you'd forget. It's gonna sound crazy. Dr. Dekker said I would never be able to move forward until I came to terms with my grief. And so from this point on, I start to relive the same day over and over again until I made something of it. I believed him.
You believed him?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to believe him. I remember I said, you can't just say things and they happen. He laughed and laughed. I think he was going mad. He said he'd give me a He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand that had come out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it.
Yo, you see that flame? Damn, dog! That was some After Effects shit.
I didn't forget seeing the flame. He wanted me to forget it all, but I didn't. For whatever reason, he couldn't undo what he'd done. I was scared. I pretended like the hypnosis had worked.
Hypnosis? Why didn't it work?
I've got nothing to...
Click on demonstration.
He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand that had come out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it.
You don't see it in the replay.
Interesting.
I saw fire in your hand.
Sorry, drawing a blank.
I saw a flame in your hand.
Nope.
Yo, you see that flame though? Yeah.
Make you forget?
He'd become bored of me, so I got much of my insight from calls or messages he'd take during our sessions. I think because he hypnotized me, he didn't want to play with me anymore, so I got basic therapist.
Really?
Basic therapist? Yep.
Jesus.
He told me lots of people get depression, to become more active, see more people. And although he wouldn't always be there to listen, Jaya would be.
Jaya?
Yeah, I talked to her quite a lot. I'm not sure how many days of that she'd remember. She seemed to care, which is more I can say for Dekker.
Huh. So we got this one. Ooh, hello, note. You should ask her. Of course we will.
I didn't forget seeing the flame.
Right.
He wanted me to forget it all, but I...
Why did he want you to forget it all? We already asked that.
I didn't forget seeing the flame. He wanted me to forget it all, but I didn't. For whatever reason, he couldn't undo what he'd done.
Huh.
I was scared. I pretended like the hypnosis had worked.
Why were you scared?
Why were you scared? Good call. I'm on the same page.
I was scared what Dr. Dekker would do to me if he found out I still knew. So I had to play along. Keep coming to the sessions. Pretend I hadn't seen what he'd done. It was awful, because I was suffering through the same days over and over again. But I couldn't talk to him about it. Because he'd know.
What the shit?
Dude.
Let's hit up Jaya.
Yeah.
Jaya.
Jaya.
Jay.
Jaya.
Okay.
Jaya girl, what going on?
Hello, Jaya.
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Dekker?
Why did I ask for Mariana's address?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna start doing home visits, dog.
I'm not okay with this. I mean, Jesse's okay with this.
Right.
Dr. Jesse, PI.
Right.
Is not
Dr. Detective Jesse is not. Yeah.
Okay with this. Home visit?
Yes, Dr. Dekker started doing home visits for Mariana. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you.
And she's like, I'm reading, but I'm gonna look over. I was not thinking of doing that.
Have you been taking notes in our session, Doctor? Perhaps you should check them?
Oh, lady. Dr. Dekker started doing home visits. She couldn't concentrate in the office. Why couldn't she concentrate?
Honestly, I think Dr. Dekker had a bit of a crush on Mariana, or vice versa. I'm not really sure. There's some footage from their home sessions if you want to see them.
Oh boy. Yes.
Yes, I would like to see them.
That was a joke, Doctor. I guess we found our level.
What?
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Dekker started doing home visits for Mariana. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you.
Maybe let's do where you can see me?
Checks and balances, Doctor. Somebody needs to be watching the watchman, so to speak. Make sure you're helping, not hindering.
Fair enough. Fair enough. After everything we've heard about Dr. Dekker. Got it.
He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things. I think he was so overwhelmed by the patients he was getting. His curiosity just got the better of him. There was a definite turning point.
Turning point?
Somewhere around the time Professor Alderby turned up, that seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him. I hope you deal with it better.
Look, we good. We're fine.
Don't even worry about it. We're Dr. Detectives.
Dr. Detective P.I. Neil Patrick Harris is
Yeah.
Dr. Detective P.I.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it.
Or maybe
I suppose you're going to start
ask her about her
doing
grief.
home visits now, like Dr. Dekker?
Let's do emailed.
Doctor, if you don't want it, don't text me and ask for it.
What?
It's all right. I don't mind doing menial tasks for you. Someone has to do them.
What?
we apparently asked for that. Question mark.
Okay. So what was the thing that you
Grief.
wanted? Grief.
How's your grief?
Grief is such a strange word if you keep saying it. Grief, grief, grief. It sounds like somebody's being whipped. And you're going to ask me how I feel today?
How do you feel today?
How do you feel today? Oh. Whipped?
Oops, that was a strange thing to say, wasn't it? Whipped. Am I all whips and chains in the bedroom or dominant in the boardroom? Don't answer that, it's not a question. It's early days for a harassment suit yet, what with Ben's nervous shock already.
How's Ben?
I think that's all settled now. We are agreeing to pay Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw.
What he saw?
He thought he saw a creature coming out of Dr. Dekker's mouth. Well, at least that's the reason he's given for not emptying the bins that night. Either way, it's not the kind of publicity that we need. Shiny, happy, sane people.
What?
There is a creature inside of Dr. Dekker.
So she wants us to ask how we're.
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Dekker?
Maybe just straight up, Dr. Dekker?
Yeah.
Some mornings I come into work and still expect him to be here. Sometimes it feels like he actually is here, watching over me. We had a connection. It's gone now, though. You can't have a connection with the dead, can you? Not for too long, anyway.
Connection with the dead?
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
Everyone's just trying to bone down with everyone in this office.
I know, man.
It's too much. Too much.
Mariana?
I don't know everything. I know most things, but not everything.
Maybe dinner?
You're overthinking things. You don't need to ask me.
Okay.
You're probably right. We probably are overthinking things.
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
Competition, maybe?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean I was competing. I was happy Mariana was going out with him. I didn't want to be romantic with him. We had a stronger connection than that.
Stronger connection?
Dr. Dekker and I shared some philosophy. We'd both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind,
boy.
and we agreed with a lot of what it said. Have you read that book, Doctor?
No, I have not read that
No,
book.
I have not read. That cook?
Yeah.
It's a cookbook!
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast.
PSY. PSYCHO.
Fuck.
KINESS.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind. It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts of things like telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas.
Jokes.
Shoot me, I'm a Kojak fan. Like I said, all those cool things are in Cult of the Kinetic Mind, apart from Kojak, obviously. If you ever get a patient who thinks they can change the world with just their mind, then duck, just in case they can. But seriously, do a whole load of shrinking and make them better. Whether you believe in psychokinesis or not, you'll need to figure out your approach with those that do. How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away? That's what I'd try to do.
Oh, okay. What was the other thing that was in here? Telekinesis and what else?
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast.
Cult leaders?
Yeah.
Followers and disciples have a very strong tie to their cult leaders, almost like they've been brainwashed. The author suggests that this is because they've witnessed some kind of psychokinesis, like pyrokinesis or telekinesis.
So pyrokinesis, like as in making fire appear in your hand?
Yeah.
What did I do wrong?
No, they said we've just already touched on it in telekinesis.
Okay.
Click connection with the dead.
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
We already asked about competition.
Yeah.
What is...
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
Have we just asked about Mariana?
Yeah, we already did. And she said, oh, not to make it sound like I'm competing, lol.
It was flattering?
I don't know everything. I know...
Is there anything...
Nope. Oh, back to Hello Jaya.
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counseling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Dekker?
I didn't ask for Mariana's address.
Well, maybe someone sneaked your phone during a session and texted? I know they all look innocent, but if it's not nailed down, there's a good chance they'll walk away with it. You know, I used to have an iPad. And a Surface.
Both covered.
Both.
Yeah. I
Right.
used to have both.
Yeah, that got rid of Hello Jaya.
Okay.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author
Have we just
suggests
asked about
that
Cult of the Kinetic
everyone
Mind?
is
Oh,
capable
yeah,
of
maybe we haven't.
psychokinesis, and that the cult...
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because at the end she asks if we've read it, and we say no. We already said that.
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you...
Are you seeing anyone? Are you dating? Are you dating anybody?
Have you been taking notes in our session, Doc?
Look, I'm
All
just
right.
curious.
Oh, let's talk about Nathan.
I didn't really speak to Nathan that much at all, but I have this strange feeling that I know him really well. I can't quite put my finger on it.
I wonder what the options we got from that are. Oh,
Oh, that's it. Okay.
okay. It's still no matter what. This is the big one right here.
Connection with the dead and
And-
reading the book.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is...
Who is the author?
Nice, good.
That's a strange question to ask. Are you feeling all right, Doctor?
Yes.
I'm feeling fine.
Who wrote the book?
That's not something I know about.
We would know
In
that.
Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast.
Are you into
Why
psychology?
is it a blast? That's a good one too.
No.
Are you into psychology? Psychology?
Psychology?
Yes, psychology. I think you'll find it's relevant, Doctor.
You suck. What?
I don't think there's any. I don't think asking about like the cult leader, or the disciple, or the followers. Like I think
Let's
we
do
got all
this.
that. Yeah.
It's in that police report that I gave to you. You should really take a look at it.
I did. Okay, so she won't answer that. Did we just ask about like just Dr. Dekker in general? No.
We already did. Yeah.
Damn. Did you love Dr. Dekker? Like sexual?
Sexial. Apparently, we already asked that.
Yeah, I mean that was implied.
Yeah.
Dr. Dekker question mark implied.
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's.
Why would he
I
ask you
refused,
to have
obviously,
dinner?
because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
I don't know
Have
why.
we just done Valentine's too?
Nope.
Just Valentine's?
Yeah.
I was at home on my
Oh
lonesome,
my God.
doctor, like I said before.
Does that clear that out?
Literally cleared out the connection with the dead one.
God help us. Alone at home?
I don't know everything. I know most.
Inquisitive.
Oh.
It's probably like you've asked 12 jillion questions.
I was at home on my lonesome, doctor, like I said before.
Lonesome?
I'm a bit of a bookworm. I'm one of those annoying, constantly self-improving, overachieving types. Takes one to know one, eh, doctor?
Winku.
Winku?
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis. And
Am
that
I
the cult
capable of
leaders specifically-
psychokinesis?
Whoa!
Have you been taking notes in our...
How does the author suggest?
I don't know. In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis, and that the cult leaders specifically...
How is everyone capable of psychokinesis?
Nope. P-S-Y-C-H-O?
Look, I'm typing the best I can type.
I know.
I'm
just trying to help.
No, you're getting between me and Mariana. I knew it from day one. She would never lie to me.
She's bad for you.
No, she's not.
She's bad for you, and
No,
you
she's
can't even
not.
see it. All you see is a redhead with big old badunks.
What's wrong with that? Why can't I enjoy seeing that?
Because when she smooches you, you're gonna follow her to her house and bang on her door all night. Don't say it. Don't. Whatever you were gonna say, don't say it.
I'm glad you knew I was this close to leaning in the microphone. There was a one-liner ready to roll. I don't even need to say it now.
No, not at all in my experience. Dr. Dekker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis. Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them.
Someone?
It's entirely possible that someone is targeting this practice with psychokinetic patients. To what end, I don't know. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are diagnosed as insane, or at least temporarily insane. It's a handy diagnosis if you're facing criminal prosecution, especially if it's for murder.
Jenks.
Busting it out.
You know, where's the payoff? Bring the strippers and booze! We do occasionally talk about video games. Bring the strippers and booze! Not enough time for video games. Bring the strippers and booze!
Oh, thank God, I don't need pants now.
Hey, JC! What are you doing? Not much. Making a fortune.
Yeah, now sing the music.
Bring the strippers and booze! I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. You